Okay, I'm back. I think I'm back.
Princess lives in a monochrome world, broken from the side through her lonely eyes. It reflects the ocean and stars, but her cry echoes around the simple loss of love in her heart, making this whole fairy tale alive. And sorrow's tender embrace. This was never meant to happen. The light of the day, the only reason you have to stay. Hear me sing my song and just keep holding on. Cinderella, why don't you stay with me tonight? We will dance until midnight comes and we could run away. Oh, we will never ever be apart. Set aside all your fears, this magic lives inside your heart. I am here, would you wanna stay with me tonight? Follow me, we will run across the bridge of fantasy. All the pain and sadness that you feel, believe in me, hold me close, don't never let me go. Come and stay with me forever. Magic lives so long as I am here.
Okay. It seems to be working now. I hope it's working. Can you see the screen? Okay, you can. Alright. Okay. Wait, am I even recording? Okay, I am recording, that's a good thing. Can you see my pointer? Okay, you can. That's good. Okay. Welcome back. If you know you were watching me earlier before I found out there was a error here. I will click continue, but I will go to the previous save because we missed out a bit. Sure, I forgot how this goes. Should I tease him? What if, oh no, my bad, no, what if I just load this one and try going back? I can. Oh sweet. Now if I can go back long enough. Back. Oh, I can't go even, okay. Well, that's too bad. Have to load this one. Okay. Well, at least you can actually see what's on my screen. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the log and guess what I put on last time. Too amused. Okay, I will tease him. He obviously wants to leave, but I cannot help myself. Actually, okay, that was the correct choice. I'll just skip till the end of this chapter. Stop. Skip. Skipping, stop. Back. Okay, yeah, this is where I left off. Chapter 5. Favors and Daybreak. I've been at the Martian for a couple of months now, but I still haven't managed to do a single good deed. Today I went out of town with Waltz to buy ingredients for parfait. The two of us have both been very quiet, which is uncharacteristic for Waltz. Oh no. Princess? What? Did Karma explain why he wasn't coming with you today? Princess? Does Waltz not like my company? Is that why he's asking why he had to fill in for Karma? He said he was tired. Oh. Waltz turns his head, his eyebrows furrowing in confusion. The town feels very different today. It does? I feel as if there are people watching us. How can you tell? With practice, I have a lot of eyes on me when I'm doing puppet shows after all. Even before then, I was used to being watched, I guess. Before you were cursed? Why? Well, I was more conspicuous as an adult, I guess. An adult? Alright. You have the Neverland curse. You remembered? Yes, I have the Neverland curse. I told you that when I was in the tavern once. I told you what that was in the tavern once. You're stuck as a child when you should be a man. Right, it's a little inconvenient, but I've gotten used to it. Waltz is so much more straightforward than his curse and karma. The two of us go into the store, where we find the little cups that Parfait asked us to buy. After I pay, Waltz automatically picks up the bags. His help is nice for a change. I have become so accustomed to carrying the bags on my own. So have you made any progress on your good deeds? You can see from my necklace that I have not. But you have changed. I still don't see how I have changed at all. Karma hasn't taught me anything about doing good. Sometimes in order to do good, you need to realize some things about yourself first. Maybe Karma's not so bad at helping you with that. He's selfish, flamboyant, and acts as if the world revolves around him. But you're still partnered with him. I am. I am okay with Karma's company. Most of the people judge and shun me. But Karma hasn't done that, and he's even mentioned enjoying my company. I have become more tolerant of him too. Oh, Princess! Waltz's eyes light up, and I see him pointing ahead to a crowd of people gathered around the center of the town. A woman stands in the middle of the crowd telling people's fortunes. We should go see if we can get our fortunes told. Come on. The crowd around the woman only grows larger. Until nearly half of the plaza has been taken up. I find myself pushed around in the crowd as I try to follow Waltz. The crowd is dense though, and in no time at all I have lost him. Waltz! I call for him, but I do not see him over the dozens of people in front of me. I will wait for him at the outskirts of the crowd. He should be able to find me. I make my way out of the crowd and to the edges of an alleyway. But Waltz still does not appear. 10 minutes go by and I consider walking back into the crowd when I hear a voice behind me. Are you looking for someone, madam? Oh no. I feel someone grab my hand. I slap them away and take a step back. When I turn, I find a man standing behind me in an alleyway. Why did you walk into an alleyway? Didn't mean to startle you. What do you want? I want to help you return to the palace, Princess Lucette. You know who I am? I do, Princess, and I can lead you back to the palace. Who are you? Someone who's working for the king. But the king does not even remember me. The only people that would remember me are witches, fairies, and those with the curse. So who exactly is this man? You're lying. Princess, why would I ever lie to you? Now come on. Now come, I'm sure everyone at the palace would be happy to see you. Oh my god, I can't voice. The man grabs my hand roughly and begins trying to pull me through the alleyway. The first thing I try to do is scream, but the man clamps his free hand over my mouth. The crowd is getting farther from us, and no one can see us in the shadows. Princess, I swear my word, I'm bringing you back to the palace. Yep, this is where we had this save file. I will fight back for now. I have to fight back! Maybe I can draw people's attention to me. I try to squirm my way out of the man's arms, but it does not work. He chuckles lightly at me until I elbow him in the stomach. For a few moments I am free to run. For a few moments that I am free to try. Oh my god. Commas are okay, fine. Actually, it's me. For the few moments that I am free, I try to run, but all too soon the man grabs me again with the same punishing grip over my mouth and knows to stop me from screaming. And breathing too, it seems. You're a real feisty one, ain't you? I really do not know how to voice that guy. I feel like I might faint. In one last attempt to get free, I tug at the man's hand with my own and manage to shift it just enough until I can bite down on it. Ow! The man screams in pain, his grip finally loosening. I can hear him curse as I run away from him. A few minutes later, I realize that I have gone in the wrong direction. I soon come to a dead end in the alleyway and I can hear the man running up behind me. What is it that I see before me? Okay, this was the correct choice. I look up to see Karma standing on the rooftop right above us in his disguise, holding a sword, a broad grin on his face. Madam, you might hurt yourself playing with that sword. You might want to put it down. What is this, sir? Do you feel threatened by me? You should. Oh, no, I should say that a little different. What's this? Sir, do you feel threatened by me? You should. Karma jumps down from the building and raises his sword in front of him. His eyes are angry, his earlier jovial personality fallen away. Oh no. Anyone that attacks a lady has to pay for the crime. Oh man, I'm getting so bad at this. Okay, I'll keep going. Karma rushes forward, moving faster than I can see, even in his long dress. The glint of the sword causes the man to fall backwards, loosening his grip on me. I step back from the man's hold and watch as Karma points his sword at the man's neck. Now, I have a sword and you do not. Do you really want to test your luck, sir? This isn't worth it. The man runs off, leaving me alone with Karma in the alleyway. What's this? You were a lot cockier just a few moments ago. I breathe out slowly as relief washes over me. Princess! Waltz approaches from where the man had run. So did you meet the coward? Okay. So did you meet the coward fellow on your way here? Oh. I bumped into a man who looked as if he was running from death. Oh my, I feel oddly accomplished. Karma and Waltz's voices become faded and indistinct as my vision blurs. Oh no. I am suddenly light on my feet. All the adrenaline from earlier has dissipated into thin air. I feel tired. Oh, he probably had something on his hand. And the physical exhaustion. Princess! Before I can collapse, I feel arms pulling me back up. Rest easy, Princess Lucette. I close my eyes and fall into blackness. When I wake up, Anise is setting a tray of food. Okay. I'm gonna drink some water. I'll be back. on. Okay, now I'm back. I hope I'm audible. When I wake up, Anise is setting a tray of food down on my bedside table. She does not notice as I rise slowly from bed. Anise. Oh, Princess, you're up. We were worried about you. Lady Delora and Lady Parfait said that you were just out because of shock, but still. How long have you been asleep? Just a few hours, Princess. Don't worry about chores for now. Lady Delora says that if you're feeling better, you can use Mr. Broom. Better later. Just thinking about using Mr. Broom gives me a headache. Where are Karma and Waltz? Waltz is scouting the town. Okay. Waltz is scouting the town looking for the man that captured you. And Karma? I think he might be in his room, Princess. He's got patrol tonight, so he's resting a little bit. If he has patrol tonight, that means he was resting this morning too. How did he know I needed help? Do you need anything, Princess? No, I'm going to visit Karma. What? To thank him? However, he knew if Karma hadn't been there, things would not have ended so well. Yes. That's sweet, Princess. Oh no. Okay. Oh, Lady Delora wants to talk to you about what happened when you're feeling up to it. Okay. I wait until Anise leaves. Wait, is it Anise or Anise? Anise? I'll go with Anise. I wait until Anise leaves the room until I follow after her. It's only after I exit my room that I realize I do not know where Karma's room is. Anise must have assumed that I already knew with us being partners and all. It's fine, I do not need Anise's assistance for this. I can find Karma's room on my own. It takes me some time, but eventually I find a room with his name on the door, in careful, flowery letters. It suits him. I simply open the door without thinking to knock. Girl. Literally, what did you think was going to happen? I expected to find Karma lying in bed, but instead he's standing in front of a mirror changing his clothes. This is why you should knock. Princess? Oh. I did not think I've ever seen a shirtless man before. Oh, indeed. He turns to me and the realization that he's standing there in just his pants hit me hard on the stomach. My face feels incredibly uncomfortably warm. Why are you just standing there? Put on your clothes. And then I notice the large tattoo on his chest. It is a rose ensnared in many vines. I stare at it for a few moments before Karma puts her hand there to conceal it. It is rude to come into a lady's room unannounced, you know. Karma slips his usual dress on carefully over his head and then approaches me. I take a step back without realizing. Karma raises an eyebrow and smiles at me mischievously. It is a familiar look, but it rattles me more now than it ever has before. My Princess, you're as red as a tomato. Are you okay? Does this man always need to point out the obvious? I'm fine. There's no reason to shout, darling. Now, what did you come here for? To see me, the beautiful Karma? Does everything always have to revolve around you? I mean, you came to his room. Well, you are breaking into my room. I am barely able to stifle a sigh. Well? I cross my arms and frown at him. His smile makes it harder to get my next words out. I came here to thank you. Do my ears deceive me? What did you say, Princess? Princess? Thank you for saving me. I saw you fight back. That was a very admirable attempt. You saw me? Yes, as you were coming to the end of the alleyway. But I didn't manage to escape. It doesn't matter, Princess. You certainly made the effort. It does matter in the real world, though. But I digress. You are welcome, Princess. It was my pleasure. I should leave. Wait, what? I turn to leave, but Karma grabs my hand and pulls me back. But princess, don't you owe me something, bro? So Karma was expecting something in return after all. I should have known. I think you owe me an apology. You did come into my room unannounced after all. What is he talking about, bro? Since you broke into my room, I demand you help me with my makeup. Then I will forget your transgression. Your makeup? Yes, darling. I thought you were resting because you were going on patrol tonight. Resting? Nonsense. I have much to do. My makeup earlier was so messy that I washed my face in order to reapply it. I cannot believe I am going to agree to this. Fine. What a splendid day today is. Come, princess, let us do this by a mirror. Let's do this by a mirror. I am not getting that tone. Karma pulls me over to the mirror where I can see both of our faces reflected. He has a surprising variety of makeup on the dresser beside him. He has more makeup than I do, probably. And I do have a lot of makeup, not gonna lie. Just not certain types of product. Anyways, I do not even care that much for my appearance. Why am I helping Karma with his makeup? I'll try that again. I do not even care that much for my appearance. Why am I helping Karma with his makeup? Now, which feature on the face do you think is the most important one to highlight, princess? Probably the eyes. What are your eyes attracted to most on a person's face? When they're laughing, when they smile? Why is he asking me for my opinion on something so trivial? If someone was smiling, the first feature I would look on their face would be... Well, for me it's almost never really the eyes, but I would look at their eyelashes or something, you know. But I'd go with eyes. You always look at a person's eyes first. Oh no! Eyes are mirrors to the soul, as they say. Does that mean you always look into my eyes, princess? The minute he says that, I look into his eyes. Karma flutters his eyelashes at me, and I look down and grumble. What was that, a trick? Made you look. What do you think? Think? Of my eyes, do they draw you in? I've never looked at Karma's eyes closely, but now that he keeps talking about them, I cannot help but look closer. His eyes are a pretty color. You don't have to answer that, princess. I'm just kidding. Of course. Your eyes, on the other hand, are beautiful. You and Rumple really are the same person. You both spout nonsensical compliments. Nonsensical? Oh, princess, I am so offended. I mean what I say, unlike that fool. Anyways, I'll let you choose the order of things. Fine. Don't... Okay. I should probably save this. I know how much you like to tease me, but I need to get out of here quickly today. If you need to leave so quickly, shouldn't you do your makeup yourself? And miss the opportunity to have you help me? Nonsense. If I can, I'll... Wait, what? Back. If I can, I'll have you help me with my hair sometime. The way you do yours is beautiful. I always put effort into my hair, as mother always emphasized the importance of looking like a princess. But I've never received a compliment on my hairstyle before. Karma gives me his makeup supplies and I start layering the color on his face. Okay, I think I did the wrong choice here, so I will load this, skip, fast forward, yes, wait, back. Okay, here we go. Yes, I will overwrite the save. Yeah, the cheeks. A person's cheeks, maybe? I'm just guessing. Why do you feel so foolish? Well, to each his own, I suppose. Okay, maybe not that. So I should go for the most interesting one, I guess. If someone was smiling, oh, I always thought you look at their eyes though, you know. Like, not their eyes as in like their pupils or their irises, but like the overall folds and creases of it. I mean, you don't put eyeshadow on your eyeball, right? If that makes sense, you look at like the iris and stuff. Anyways, the lips. Despite myself, I find my gaze dropping to Karma's lips. Why do I feel like I'm walking into a trap? You are. The lips? My princess, I never thought I'd ever hear... Brother. My princess, I didn't think I'd ever hear you say that you looked at my lips when I smiled. I did not say that. Oh, you're blushing. Okay. Oh, but you did. And princess, I do believe you're blushing. Okay. Even though Karma never said that he was referring to his features, I thought about his lips anyways. The thought made my heart flop, though I do not have the faintest idea why. I'm getting so excited that it shows in my voice. I hate this. Anyways, get back. Anyway, I agree. Though eyes are important, a smile isn't quite brilliant without the lips. Well, to be honest, I actually disagree, but I feel like that would change the root ending, and I do not want the bad ending right now. Without the lips? Oh, this was the correct choice. Alright. I try to imagine a smile without lips and shudder. Sorry, princess, I misspoke. Try to dispel the image from your mind. Anyways, I'll let you choose the order of things. Fine. Just don't make me look like a clown, princess. I know how much you like to tease me, but I need to get out of here quickly today. If you need to leave quickly, shouldn't you do your makeup yourself? And miss the opportunity to have you help me? Nonsense. If I can, okay, from here I'll just skip. Because I went through that already. When we were this close, I cannot help but carefully inspect every one of his features. I do not think I even did something like this with my mother. You know, princess, I don't think I deserve your thanks. I pause and raise an eyebrow at him. What? You have been helping me for a while and I haven't helped you with your curse at all. What I did today was just coincidence. Coincidence? I'd heard you went to town with Walt, so I followed you too. I only happened to catch what happened in the alleyway. You managed to see me even though there were many other people who didn't? I have very good eyes. Probably. Probably? It's not like you to be so humble. Lucette, I am once again offended. And why were you following us in the first place? You said you were too tired to go into town today? I was worried. It was strange not accompanying you today. Worried? Why would you be worried? Karma looks puzzled for a few moments. He glances at himself in the mirror solemnly when he shrugs. Then shrugs. Intuition, perhaps? Waltz mentioned something about feeling watched. Is there something that Waltz and Karma are watching out for that I am not? Karma closes his eyes momentarily, and I take the opportunity to dust his eyes with eyeshadow. He does not seem to mind. Princess, you haven't spoken about what happened today with Delora or Parfait, have you? No, not yet. You came to thank me first? Yes. Oh. Karma falls into silence and I continue to work, sweeping blush on his high cheekbones. Princess, do you know anything about the man who tried to drag you away today? No, he said only that he worked for the king before telling me he would take me back to the palace. I wonder how he recognized you. I was wondering that myself. How curious and alarming. The only ones who should pose a problem at this time are witches. Witches? What would they want to do with me? Well, I only mean that witches are the only ones who can see through our curses. So that man spoke with a witch? It's possible. But why? Why would the witches want me back at the palace? Or was that man trying to lead me somewhere else? I suppose either way, the man couldn't have wanted to bring me back to the palace for a good reason. Is it possible that the witch gave a commoner a description of you? But then, why would... Karma stops talking and looks up at me with something like sympathy. Sorry, I'm just running my head for ideas. Are all witches really so dangerous? And what do they want with me in the first place? Rest assured, princess, we'll figure this out. I nod my head slowly. I have a lot of questions for Delora and Parfait, but it is possible that even they might not know everything. I will need to think on my own as well, just in case they decide to keep more of their secrets. I look at Karma and shake my head. Next time I will be more wary. I won't let myself be caught unaware. Before I realize it, Karma has his hand on my cheek and is staring at me solemnly. Solemnly. Right, N is silent, my bad. Solemnly. His eyes are cold and as unmoving as steel. Princess, there won't be a next time. That's what I said. No, that's not. That's what I said. Next time I'll make sure you're definitely not alone. Had I been alone today, I might have actually been kidnapped. I know that, but I cannot show weakness. I just need to be more cautious. I'm not some damsel in distress, you know. Having someone at your back is far more comforting. Even on a battlefield, knights fight better together. What's wrong? Nothing. He moves his hand away from his face and stands up, sighing. His eyes look suddenly distant and his posture stiff. I think we're about done here, right? Yeah, I haven't finished your makeup though. Wait, why am I even concerned about that? Oh, sometimes simple is better. Or would you like me to sit back down? I do enjoy being pampered by you, princess. Oh my god. I'm gonna drink some more water. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, sometimes simple is better. Or would you like me to sit back down? I do enjoy being pampered by a princess. I take it back. We are definitely done. Good. Thank you for your hard work. In an instant, the mood changes and a bright smile once again graces Karma's face. As much as I hate to do this, I'm going to have to leave you, darling. I have business in town and then a patrol later tonight. I probably won't see you for the rest of the day, but thank you. He is thanking me for putting on his makeup? It was such a small thing. You're welcome. You already thanked me though. Well, now you can tell I'm twice as thankful as a normal person. That doesn't make any sense, but it's Karma. A lot of things he says does not make sense. A lot of things he says does not make any sense. A lot of the things he says do not make any sense. Yeah, okay. I leave the room with Karma and he leaves the tavern as I go to find Parfait and Delora. The two of them are seated together in the reception, speaking in hushed voices when I arrive. They both pause to look up at me as I walk into the room. Well, if it isn't the princess, took you long enough to come see us. Our niece told us you were unharmed. We're glad to see you safe, princess. So how about telling us what happened? When prompted, I tell them everything that transpired in the alleyway. The two listen and only exchange a solemn glance when I am alone. Do you know something about this? I don't. Why would the witches be after me in the first place? You remember what he said about the Tenebrarum corrupting witches? Well, those witches don't like seeing curses broken. They meddle where they can because they can. They meddle where they can because they can. That is why I cast a glamour on you when you arrived here, so you could remain hidden from magical eyes. I did it to protect you. To protect me? I feel like there is more of this than they are hiding. But I do not think any amount of convincing will get them to say anything. Forgive us, princes. We are not entirely sure what's going on either. Though if it was a human that captured you, he must be working with the witches somehow. Troublesome to say the least. But we do not know the details yet. Give us some time to figure things out. Until we figure out who that man is and who he is working for, you need an escort with you. You need to have an escort with you out of the Martian at all times. Do you understand? And once you figure it out, you will tell me? The two exchange another look, which only makes me more frustrated. They are obviously keeping secrets and right in front of me. We'll tell you once everything falls into place. Don't worry, princess. We would never let you be put in any danger. The silence is what ends our conversation. I make my way back to my room, feet heavy. I feel like a fly caught in a spider's web. I try my best to clear my mind as I enter my room. Oh. The day goes by slowly, and I make no progress in my course. Karma is busy with the knights today, and Delora and Parfait are busy talking with Rumpel about his course in his room. Tonight is the perfect night to go and wander the town by myself. Girl, I need to see if I can find out anything about the witches and what is happening around the kingdom. Delora and Parfait are not going to tell me anything, and no one has wanted to take me out of the Martian since the kidnapping attempt. Those thoughts spiral helplessly in my head as I sit at a table. I've just finished working for the day, and the activity in the Martian is beginning to wind down. Colin stands up in the door as the last few customers leave the Martian. Julian is walking around the room to make sure there are no problems. Out of the corner of my eyes, I notice two men pass halfway across the room to glance back at her. I can overhear their words from where I am. A shame that she's a knight, eh? She's a proud type, too proud to let a man dote on her. Bleeding shame indeed. But do you think if I tried to say anything to her? You too. Alright. He likes Julian, by the way. Garland is suddenly standing behind the two men, an uncharacteristically dark glare on his face. Is there a problem? Doors are closing for the night. I am going to ask you to please leave. No need to be so uptight, lad. We're on our way out now. The two men walk out, and Garland stands in the middle of the tavern area glaring after them. He has more or less pushed them out of the tavern. If Anise had seen that, she'd probably have scolded him. Garland? You okay? Of course. You think you can fool me? I've known you long enough to know that something's bothering you. Neither of the knights seem to notice me here. If they do, they ignore me. Julian is still looking insistently at Garland, who looks down at the floor. Is he going to say something to her? Garland says nothing though. He looks at a loss for words. Finally, Julian reaches out and pokes his shoulder, and he looks up startled. Still the same as ever, the silent, watchful knight. Only says things with certainty when he knows they're the truth. Even the princess is waiting for you to say something. Both the knights turn to look at me, and Garland seems surprised. I raise an elbow at him, and he hurriedly looks away. Patrol is starting soon. I'll head out first. Okay, stay safe. Garland nods at her with a slight little smile before he leaves the tavern. Going to sleep soon, princess? I was just going to head up. I stand up and get ready to move up to my room, but once more I stop to look at Julian. Did he hear what those men were saying? Oh, about me being too proud or something? So she did hear them, but chose to say nothing. It doesn't bother me, they're right. I've been independent for a long time, and I would never think of pledging my safety to a man I barely know. I can take care of myself. Blunt and to the point, Julian was really admired for that honesty in the palace. The only other men I've trusted before are my fellow knights. Garland most of all, since we've always been partners. She does not explain any further. I decide that is for the better. The sooner everyone has cleared out, the sooner I can leave the Martian. Tonight is the night I go looking for answers. Girl. Sorry, Karma. But I can handle myself. I'm going to prove it tonight. I may not be able to fight, but I can still be cautious enough to not land myself in trouble. I do not believe you. Still, I do not happen to hear much of anything as I'm exploring the town tonight. I should have brought some kind of weapon. You didn't bring a weapon? But then I would have to steal a knife from the kitchen. I am not a thief, bro. Hours pass before I pass a tavern filled with knights. Deciding that I will at least listen to what is happening at the palace, I linger by the open door and listen to what the men are saying. I hear that the young Fritz is having a hard time of it. I feel bad for the lad. Even Sir Alcaster thinks he's gone mad. Well, he keeps talking about a princess that doesn't exist. Fritz still remembers me? But how? Even his father is growing wary of his babbling. Sir Maithros forced him on break the other day. He didn't seem very happy. Well, Sir Maithros must think he's crazy too. Poor Fritz. Can he keep a secret? The knights look at each other and I lean as closely as I possibly can. Apparently the boy spoke some truth. Though Sir Alcaster doesn't quite believe it, he's looking for the daughter of the previous queen. The witch had a daughter? The previous queen, are they talking about mother? How dare they call her a witch? Apparently she did, though I don't ever remember such a girl. This is top secret stuff. I just happened to wrestle this one out of the lackeys looking for her. What would Sir Alcaster need this girl for? I'm assuming she's dangerous and they want to get rid of her. Are they talking about me? I'm curious, how are we supposed to find this imaginary princess anyways? Does she have any features? They described her features. Last man who went looking for her said she wore a special pendant around her neck. I should get out of here. I turn to leave the tavern, but my cloak snags on the door and falls to the floor, tripping me up on the process. I end up falling halfway into the tavern where the chatter abruptly stops. Oh, a lady. The knights were talking approached me. One of them picks up my cloak. I attempt to grab my cloak from their fingers, but they pull it away from me and I stumble into one of them. Madam, he moves to take my hand and then he stops when he sees my face. Her face! And a necklace! You think she was spying on us? Witch! One of the guards grabs me by the wrist and pulls me towards him. He's far stronger than the man in the alleyway was. And hand me right now, I'm no witch. Then there should be no problem. We're just going to take you in and if there's some misunderstanding, we'll repay you ourselves, miss. No, let me go. This behavior is not fitting of a knight. Come on now, miss. Let's go back quietly. I'm gonna try to fight. I may be outnumbered, but I cannot let myself be caught. Maybe the people at the bar will help me. I open my mouth to scream. I open my mouth to scream, but one knight covers my mouth as some attention falls on us. Nothing to fear here, everyone. Just a criminal we're apprehended. Criminal? I struggle in their grasp, but the men are too strong for me. What liars! Don't fight back, ma'am. Resistance is useless. Everyone in the bar looks scared of me. This is even worse than everyone glaring at me. I try to blink back the tears as they come into my eyes. Come on, let's take her out to the palace. The knights lead me out onto the empty streets. Why? Why did I have to be so stubborn? Honestly, bro, I don't know. The knights continue pulling me down the path until we come to a narrow street. Everyone who sees us walks away to avoid the knights. There's fear in their eyes. But I've done nothing wrong. Ma'am, if it makes you feel any better, we're risking our rank on this as well. I don't know, I'm suspicious of... Who goes there? I look up and notice Karma's familiar figure walking towards us. What is he doing here and why isn't he in his disguise? Gentlemen, I asked you to unhand the woman. As a knight, I would be ashamed to be seen treating a lady so terribly. And who are you? Her husband. His what? Unhand her, gentleman, or taste my blade. So we were just going to take her to the palace too. I will give you a count of 3. I will give you on the count of 3. One knight keeps his grip on me as the others draw his sword. I stare at Karma, who continues to count though the knight attacks him before his sword leaves the sheath. Karma and the knight trade blows, and it is Karma that comes out victorious. His blade slides past the knight's shoulder, distracting him enough to give Karma the opening he needs. Karma reaches back with his free hand to knock out the knight with his blow to the head. It may just be my imagination, but for a few moments, I think I saw the knight's blade glimmer across the surface of Karma's hand before he falls. The knight holding me holds his hands in surrender. Holds his hands up in surrender. I yield, sir. It seems no matter how the situation turns out, you are dishonorable. Please, sir. Okay. Karma knocks him out and then stands beside me as he sheathes his sword. A few moments, Lucette. Karma spends some time forcing a potion from a vial down each of the knight's throats. I watched him quietly, fearing he might have killed them, but the knights only seemed to be asleep. A potion that Parfait gave me. It'll only make the men forget that they ever saw you. When Karma stands again, I notice the glimmer of blood on his hands and stare. You're hurt! It's nothing. I'm sorry. Come on, princess, let's go back. He pulls me right out onto the main street and does not let go of my hand. I cannot bring myself to speak. Karma has saved me twice now. Not only that, but this time he's injured. He says it's nothing, but his bloodied hand does not move at all. Why do I have to be so stubborn and insist I can handle myself? I do not speak for a long time. Eventually, I notice people start to stare. Those are children. Oh, okay, those are not children. Though before long, the staring grows worse. Young women begin following us, giggling from behind. I turn to Karma, who looks like he hasn't slept in days. Karma. Sorry, princess, but I'm not in the mood to talk. Those girls are walking right behind us. This is his course? Karma. Lucette, I just said I'm in no mood to talk. Do you not hear me? You're being followed. He stares behind us almost stupidly and then laughs hollowly when the girls see his face. They start to rush towards us. Their voices rising and blending together into horrendous cacophony. Karma's not moving though, he looks resigned. Maybe he's too tired to realize what he wants to do. I tighten my grip on Karma's hand and pull him away, my pace quickening to a run as the girls chase after us, screaming at me angrily for taking Karma away from them. No. Oh, that is so sad. Lucette, what are you doing? Getting us out of here. Lucette. I lead him through the town and into the little nooks and crannies where we managed to lose some of the crowd. Karma often lead me... hold on. Karma often led me through some of these spaces as shortcuts. Waltz knew of them too. Once we are alone again, I stop, falling to my knees and letting go of Karma's hand as I catch my breath. That really was a curse, having to run away from so many mindless women. That was difficult. Lucette? What? I did not mean to snap, but the tiredness is pressing on me too. He helped me out of that. Of course I did. Why would I want to be chased by girls? You could have left me behind and gone on alone. Instead, you helped me. You helped me too. I guess I paid you back. Though to be honest, I wasn't even thinking about repaying him for saving me. I just knew I didn't want to come to get stuck trying to fend off all these girls. Bro would have just given up. He was right about his curse. That is terrible. I just realized something. Why you could literally just wear your night's outfit and put makeup on. You'd pass as a girl. Not gonna lie. I mean, Julian does it. Karma kneels down beside me and waits for me to speak. My curse says people forget me, and yours says strangers become fascinated with you. It's almost as if our curses are opposite to each other, and yet we seem so similar. My eyes widen as I realize what I just said. Brother, we are similar, aren't we? He holds out his good hand to me, and I let him lead me back to the tavern through the abandoned alleyways. My feet are heavy, and all I do is want to sleep, and all I want to do is sleep. But suddenly Karma is standing before me, his face grave. Lucette, I have to thank you for helping me earlier. I'm sorry I froze like that and I made it more difficult on you. It was so sudden that I was so tired. I had no motivation to move. Shouldn't I be thanking you? I'll accept your thanks, even though I wish you didn't have to thank me in the first place. You should not have gone out on your own when you knew how dangerous it could be for you. I'm sorry. I'll accept your apology too, because I have lost sleep over this. I have no words for how I feel right now. Princess? Oh, I'm kind of... Oh! Wait, I want to take a picture of that. There you go. Karma reaches out for my hand again, and this time he holds it up and kisses the back of it. Suddenly, all of my tiredness falls away. You really are a handful, he says as he's kissing her hand. Okay. A delightful handful. I'm going to bandage his hand and then rest. We'll speak later about all of this, okay? For the bleeding stopped on its own, Lucette, but it does need to be treated. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Are you sure? As sure as I can be. I don't lie. Not even for the sake of a pretty lady. Karma lets my hand go as soon as we enter the Martian and then bows politely at me before heading back to his room. I watch him go, my mind whirling. Does he usually kiss women's hands? No, I don't think so. Matchmaking? You really are a handful, but a delightful handful. His words keep repeating in my head, and I cannot stop hearing his voice and feeling his lips on my hand. My face feels warm, and every time I think about his words, my heartbeat feels unsteady. I really have to stop thinking about that. Karma is Karma, and he puts on that overly polite act with everyone. But then I'm pretty sure I have never seen him do something like that with another person. I'll just go downstairs and stop thinking about all of this. I need to tell Parfait and Delora what happened. Because of the time I returned to the Martian yesterday, I never spoke to anyone about what happened. Maybe someone's downstairs. Someone usually is. I'm gonna drink some water. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I leave my room and make my way downstairs to the reception. It is quiet when I enter, but not as silent as I thought it would be. Karma was sitting at one of the tables, speaking quietly with Parfait and Delora. His injured hand is sitting on the table, bandaged. I cannot help but stare at it, my heart plummeting. His injury is my fault. So you have yet to hear the entire story. Now I am afraid I am not quite privy to the information Waltz has. Is that quite correct? Waltz has been directly involved in this far longer than you have. What about Waltz? Princess, you're up early. They all turn to look at me as I stand at the table. Karma still looks tired and is not in his dress. He looks somber but still smiles at me. Lucette, how nice of you to join us. When did he start saying my name without my title? Lucette, you've run into a lot of different mishaps this week, haven't you? I thought you would be stubbornly avoiding work. Instead, you go out of your way to get yourself in trouble. This involves me directly. How could I not be curious? You've also been irresponsible, sneaking out without any of us knowing. I had the freedom to do whatever I want to. I even wore a cloak too. Oh no, the cloak. I left it at the bar. I feel a nudge at my arm and Karma is holding out my cloak with a tired smile. You went back to get this? When? Yesterday, when you were still in bed. You've been running yourself dry for the last few days, Karma. It's nothing. Thank you. What's this? Our ice princess is thanking someone? Why is that something so strange? Oh, come on now. She's not so icy. Lucette is more fire than anything. She's filled with unbridled passion and confidence, brother. Confidence that has gotten me nowhere so far. Don't look so daft, Lucette. You've become quite the accomplished woman. Karma gestures towards me and I flush, unsure of what he is talking about. But then I notice Delora's eyes are on me too. Oh, Parfait, do you see that? What are they looking at? I reach out down to grab my necklace and then I pause. I cannot stop the gasp that leaves my lips. When does that happen? When did this happen? Princess, you didn't realize there was an extra piece for your necklace? Congratulations, Princess Lucette. You're a step closer to breaking your curse. I feel proud. I only ever felt this way around my mother. She did me a great favor yesterday. If not for Lucette, I might have suffocated under a pile of very excited women. Wait, helping Karma escape was a good deed. She was selfless. He's not even mentioning the injury he got protecting me. Parfait and Delora are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. What were you all talking about before I came down? About your kidnapping. Well, kidnappings, both of them. It looks like we have a serious problem on our hands. What do you know about this? What does Waltz know that I don't? Princess, it's more about what everyone knows that you don't. What everyone else knows? I feel anger begin to simmer inside of me. Even though he looks apologetic, he says it so casually. What are you all hiding from me? Let's gather everyone later, shall we? I think Waltz might want to be here for this too. What does Waltz have to do with any of this? Be patient, Princess. You've already waited this long. What's another few hours? I have no choice but to agree when Parfait and Delora refuse to stay anymore, but I am not happy about it. I spend the rest of my time doing idle chores around the tavern. I do a round of sweeping with Mr. Broom and mindlessly organize some of the bottles. I cannot believe everyone knows something about me that I don't. But now I'll find out the entire story. Maybe it'll answer some of the questions I have. But why are they keeping things about me a secret to begin with? Delora gathers everyone in the tavern to discuss the kidnappings. I decide to sit in between Waltz and Karma. So we have a story to tell. Story time, huh? I don't suppose this would be a romance, would it? How can you stand to make such comments like that constantly? How can you stand to live a lie, brother? What is this? The two glare at each other across the table, but Delora silences them. Delora starts with a story about the Great War. One that I have already heard so many times I can recite it myself. What does any of this have to do with me? Because of the fairy tales, which is like myself, are punished for simply existing. Our leader, the Tenebrarum bearer, was a kind witch that was overtaken by the grief that our people suffered. She was driven so far to madness that she created the fairy tale curse to punish humans and make them suffer as the witches had. And when that wasn't enough, she committed the ultimate taboo. She killed a human. I tried to stop her, but at the time I thought to act it was too late. Knowing that Delora and Parfait were involved in the Great War makes it seem more real. But wasn't the Tenebrarum bearer killed? How can the fairy tale curse continue to spread if she is dead? I do believe that the Tenebrarum bearer sacrificed the last bit of her life to continue powering the Tenebrarum, or to ensure that the remaining witches could continue spreading the fairy tale curse. Is none of this ringing a bell for you? What are you talking about? She really did erase your memories. Erase? The witch who died, the Tenebrarum bearer, was your mother, Princess Lucette. What? For some reason, I turned to look at Karma, who is the only one of these people who does not look away from me. I grew up outside of this kingdom, and even I knew about the terrible witch Hilda. You expect me to believe any of this? Mother she wasn't a witch, I would remember that. Well, you would if you had memories of the war and the years before that. Until under Hilda's rule, the palace was a dark place. The king didn't have any real power until Hilda was defeated. It goes for the rest of us too. We were all slaves to Hilda. Delora's eyes flickered to Waltz. Oh, he turned into a big guy. Wait, no. What? Who's this? Oh, I forgot his name. It's Garland. Man, I keep mistaking them for each other. Delora's eyes flickered to Waltz. It's the truth. Waltz knows because he is also a witch. He experienced Hilda's command over the witches firsthand as well. Waltz is a witch? Sorry for keeping it a secret, princess. It's not as if I can use much magic anymore anyways. Not when I'm cursed. This is just another secret of many. It seems everyone is hiding something. Everyone was freed after Hilda's reign, witches, fairies and humans alike. The king was even able to marry Ophelia, the woman he had truly loved. So it has always been Ophelia that he truly loved? Oh no. Was that the reason I never felt any love for women? Because I was my mother's daughter? He gave up on me. No dear, I don't think he gave up on me. My voice is too loud in the reception area. I feel it crack beneath the pressure and suddenly I want to cry. But mother told me many times not to cry. The king gave up on me. But mother didn't. Mother would tell me all of this was a lie. She would tell me not to trust anyone. They must be lying. I turned to Karma. For some reason I trust him more than I trust Delora or Parfait. Is this the truth? I was told the story of Hilda and her daughter Lucette. They said you were the picture of elegance, but that you shared your mother's icy nature. I don't think that's true at all. If Hilda was ice, then you certainly are a warm fire. If my mother was a witch, then what does that make me? You're a witch as well, whether or not you were ever thought to use magic. Hold on. You're a witch as well. Whether or not you were thought to use magic on your upcoming birthday, you will become the Tenebrarum bearer. Do you realize how ridiculous all of this sounds? Me, a witch? The king never said anything. And now I cannot even ask him if this is the truth because I'm cursed. Why would he even curse me? We didn't want a repeat of the tragedy, Lucette. I sat on your shelves for almost a year, princess. There was ice on your heart, and if you had inherited the Tenebrarum in that state, who knows what could have happened? Then why didn't you just tell me any of this? Delora and Parfait looked at each other before dropping their gazes on the ground. If he had told you before, would you have even bothered to listen? The king might have tried to do the same thing, but look how that turned out. He shut out everyone who had ever tried to tell you about Hilda's true nature. That is probably true. And even now I'm having trouble believing that they are telling me the truth. The whole world feels as if it's collapsing around me. I need to escape, I need to go out and be somewhere else, but why are the witches looking for me? You're the heir of the Tenebrarum. No doubt the evil witches want you on their side so they can continue wreaking havoc in Angel with the fairy tale course. The men that were looking for Lucette were not witches though, they were knights. Perhaps the witches and the knights are working together. This might be part of Alcaster's scheme to steal the throne. What are you talking about? The reason why Garland and I left the Order of Caldera was because the king did not believe any of us about Alcaster's coup. How would he know of the princess's identity though? Anyone who isn't a witch, a fairy or isn't cursed should be able to remember her. But now we know it is not just the witches looking for the princess, but the knights of the Order of Caldera as well. They definitely have a description of her from someone. Lucette? Karma reaches out a hand to touch my shoulder and I flinch back before standing up. I cannot speak about this now. I want to be alone. Then, let her go. She needs a lot of time to think. I just realized that maybe I didn't get the red one here. Okay, I will stop. I don't think that was the right choice then. If I try to convince them, fighting back is useless when I'm outnumbered. I have to try convincing. You're mistaken, sirs. I happen to overhear your conversation, and assuming that I am some imaginary princess is unreasonable. Nice look at each other. You know, she has a point. She was listening in on our conversation. That's clearly suspicious. Did you not hear what I just said? I just happened to overhear it, nothing more. You are cloaked as if you were trying to hide your features. Being out at night without a cloak is a sure way to draw attention to a lady such as myself. You know, she has a point. Stop saying that, man. Okay, this is the correct one. Then, ma'am, there should be no problem with us taking you back to the palace. If we are mistaken, we'll clear up the misunderstanding and pay you handsomely. Come on now, let's take her to the palace. Okay, fast forward, yes. Okay. Menu. I will overwrite this save. I leave everyone sitting at the tables as I try to process the whirling thoughts in my mind. Hilda, my mother, the only one person I ever thought loved me, was the Tenebrarum bear. A witch, the first witch to kill a human. The witch that started the fairy tale course. All this time I thought mother was the only one who cared, but what if she never did? I stayed in my room for a long time, trying to process everything I have been told. Days go by before I decide to leave the tower again to watch Karma practice with the knights. Oh wow. Okay. These last few days I felt hollow. Perhaps seeing the normal practices will help me feel better. Maybe it'll make things feel like nothing's changed. When I arrive at the forest, however, only Karma is standing there, in the clearing. He is staring through the trees as if he sees something there, but his expression is solemn, almost sad. Eventually he sighs, shaking his head before turning in my direction. Lucette! I prepare myself for a response, but find that no words come to my mind. I have not spoken to Karma since the talk about mother and witches. And any of the ease I felt with him before had slipped away. Still, I came here on my own and I cannot stand here being mute. I say the first thing that comes to mind. What is this? Where are Julian and Garland? I only train with Garland. Julian probably... Oh, I'll only train with Garland. Julian is probably on patrol duty tonight. He'll be here later. I just came early. It seems you did too. Lucette, are you okay? I'm sorry I haven't been by to see you. It's not as if you owe that to me. I don't owe it to you, but I truly wanted to. It's been busy these last few days scouting the town for information. As much as I want you to come with me, why would he even ever have wanted to pair up with someone like me anyways? Why, princess? That's because I am bitter and cold, and even though I want to change, all I can think about is myself. But now I want to change because I do not want to be the same as my mother. Isn't that selfish? Maybe so, but I believe you are being selfish for the right reasons. I will take a break. I will be back in maybe 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Okay. An entirely selfless person can't survive in this world. Before we can make others happy, we have to be happy ourselves. Happy? Ourselves. Yes, an angry person holds resentment towards everyone. And in Mars, where whatever good deeds they seek to do. That's why I cannot complete any good deeds. Wrong, you've already got one done. Recognizing the need for change is always a good thing. A good thing. Who's that? Regardless of the motivation, you are trying to become a better person. That's what matters. He takes a step towards me, then puts his hand on my shoulders and leans down until I can look right into his eyes. Karma's serious expression startles me as much as his touch. It is never too late for anyone to change. You taught me that. What? How could I have taught Karma anything? Do you mind if I tell you a story, Lucette? He's standing too close. Yeah, I do want to overwrite that save. I'll not move. With his face so close, all I can do is stare right into his eyes. Maybe that's what he wants. Karma's hands tighten on my shoulders. For a few moments, I feel a slight panic rising in my chest. Then Karma steps away from me with a rough shake of his head. Karma? Next time I do that, Lucette, feel free to push me away. What? It's better that way. What does he mean by that? You never answered. Will you listen to my story? I guess he wanted the other one. Step away from him. I take a step back away from him, and Karma's hand falls down from my shoulders. He sighs out. The story will be just as dramatic as mine. Better be. Just thank you, Lucette. For what? For agreeing to listen. And for what you just did. Brother, I don't even understand what he's going on about. Stepping away from him? Was I distracting him? Once upon a time in a land far, far away, there lived a crown prince from a kingdom called Brigantia. Brigantia is one of the neighboring kingdoms. So this isn't make-believe? His name was Klaude. Why is the name so big? There's 5 names in this name. Oh wait, sorry, I should read this out loud, my bad. His name was Claude Adric Rinaldi Matthews Almonte. That is so big. That's such a big name. Let me try this again. His name. Oh shoot, my voice. Okay. His name was Claude Adric Rinaldi Matthews. Let me try that again. His name was Claude Adric Rinaldi Matthews Almonte. But because his name was such a mouthful, he settled for an acronym that as a nickname, at least around the palace where it was acceptable. Claude Adric Karma? Prince Claude was a man who flaunted his beauty and talent to all that he met. He often used his title to get what he wanted. Prince Claude was a selfish man who felt he was entitled to everything that he had. He was vain and often left his castle unattended so he could avoid his responsibilities. Then one day he glanced upon a beautiful maiden in the town square. He led her around the whole day, being as charming as he possibly could. And then at the end of the day, he asked the woman to be his lover. She agreed, but their time together did not last long. Only weeks later, Prince Claude threw her away as one throws away an object, and it broke the woman's heart. Oh, who is this woman? Why did he do that? Oh wait, I think he's saying that right now. And she cursed him. And that beautiful maiden was a witch, but Prince Claude found out too late. The witch said she would make his beauty, his vanity, a curse. To make even beauty a curse. Ashamed of being cursed, Prince Claude donned a disguise and left his kingdom behind. He has been gone for nearly a year now, and most probably assume he's dead. But in truth, the prince has come to Angers seeking a way to break his curse. He has heard of a young lady named Lucette, who on her 18th birthday could dispel any curse. Karma. He looks so sad. I don't know how to comfort him. Claude? Oh my god, he's blushing! Oh no, wait. And the name changed too. See, it went from Karma to Klaude. Karma, Klaude turns a startling red as he stares at me, and for a few moments he does not speak. Then he bursts out laughing. I stare at him in shock, not understanding his reaction. I feel myself flush. Isn't that your real name? No, darling, it is, but hearing you say my name, well, it sounds much softer out of your lips. I'd rather like it. Okay, bro, stop flirting. Why am I saying that's a dating sim? My cheeks are warm again. How is it that he's always able to make me feel this way? I will call you by that name if it makes you so happy. Oh no. Let's make it a secret between the two of us. I'm still Miss Karma here. Besides, I'd rather you kept that name for my ears only. It makes me feel more special that way. More special? At that moment, Garland shows up for practice and Klaude politely excuses himself. I watch the two of them trade blows. Klaude favors his other hand, but his blows still come quickly, even with his injury. The more Klaude tells me, the more I realize he's like me, a noble curse for being selfish. But how do I help break his curse? Why can't he just tell me? As practice is drawing to a close, Klaude asks Garland the usual question. Have you confessed to Julian yet? Garland only shakes his head in reply. At this point, I think Julian already knows. She is waiting. The two men sheathe their swords. Garland looks almost sad as he turns to make his way back to the tavern. He likes her and yet he won't do anything. Why is that frustrating me so much? Garland. Yes, princess? Just gonna save that. I'm gonna say it's nothing. As much as I want to say something, Klaude told me before how hard confessing was. I cannot begin to understand what that would be like. Princess? Lucette, don't be afraid to tell him what's on my mind. Maybe you should really tell her, Garland. But before Klaude was adamant that Garland shouldn't confess to Julian, what changed? If I mess this up, let's try looking into it through another lens. Imagine that Julian is Lucette. How do you think she would like to be confessed to? I frowned at the two men, arms crossed. Excuse me? You know what, I'm gonna change my answer. Load? This one. You have to tell Julian. Klaude told me before that confessing is hard, but what Garland is going through looks even harder. Princess, you know I'm incapable. No, you think you're incapable, but you never say anything. But if you never say anything to her, you'll never know. If I say something wrong, I risk losing everything that I already have with her. And if you say nothing, you risk losing what you could have had with her. This is the correct option. Nice. Lucette is right. Maybe you should really tell her, Garland. But before Klaude was adamant that Garland shouldn't confess to Julian, what changed? If I mess this up, okay, I'll just fast forward to where I went. Excuse me? Well, you and Julian are very similar. You're both very straightforward. Confess to the princess. My eyes moved to Klaude, but only fleetingly before they are only once again on Garland. You just need to do something simple, Garland. Something that will not rub her off in the wrong way. A maiden's heart is ever fragile, and each woman is different. Klaude is wearing an amused smile on his face, but he is looking at me, not Garland. I feel my face flush and have to look away. Lucette, your tomato red again. It's adorable. I cross my arms over my rapidly beating heart again and force a scowl upon my face. Now I was just thinking about what Garland would do. Something simple like when Karma kissed my hand. Garland kissing Julian's hand is probably not a good idea. Maybe he could do what Klaude and I did. that one day in town he can buy her some food and they can just talk. Garland, have you ever asked Julian out for food? Not alone. Julian is practical and she always eats at the tavern. She's not always on duty if she's available. I take a patrol shift 2 nights from now and tomorrow you can ask her out for a meal. We can make you invite a grand affair. We can drape banners on the walls, or I could give you a rose. That sounds like a terrible idea. I'm I'm offended. I feel like if I did something like that for Julian, she would get embarrassed and punch me. Sounds like another lady that I know. Dot grins at me, but I just roll my eyes. Colin, just ask her normally, and then when you are out and alone together, you can confess. And we'll make sure you have the time to do it. I'll purposefully come late to practice tomorrow night, so you can ask her out for that date. How does that sound? You two really think I can do this? You just have to ask the question. Whatever follows will at least be an answer. Tomorrow night then. Good man. I'm sure it'll go swimmingly. Or I could drown. You won't drown, Colin. Colin excuses himself with a nervous smile before Klaude turns to me expectantly with a mischievous grin. Now, Lucette, we'll come out here early tomorrow and spy on them. We need to scope out a good spot. Spy on them? Of course, we need to make sure that our efforts pay off. I don't think we should. I don't want to see how it plays out. You don't want to see how it plays out? I mutely shake my head, unable to put emotions into words. For some reason, I'm imagining myself in Julian's position. It feels too personal. Claude's likeness suddenly springs to mind, and I feel my face grow hot again. Lucette, you've been so oddly out of it today. Claude reaches out a hand towards me and then abruptly pulls away. I stare as he smiles at me, almost sheepishly. The conversation between us dies and we return to the Martian. Days passed, and though I did not spy on the conversation earlier, though I did not spy on the conversation between Julian and Colin, I noticed that Colin has been spying from ear to ear during his practice with Klaude recently. Okay, that's a good thing. I can only assume his confession went well. Klaude took the patrol shift tonight, and as I lie in bed, I am restless. Every time I watch Klaude practice with Julian and Colin, I'm reminded of the palace of Fritz. I wonder how Fritz is doing. Is he still practicing with the other knights? My thoughts darken as I recall the kidnappings. Klaude had to save me every single time. He got injured saving me. Unable to sleep, I slip out of the bed and make my way to the reception room. The night air is cool and no one stops me from staring right outside the Martian. I cannot sit back and do nothing anymore. I have to act. I do not want Klaude to get hurt because of me again. Eventually, I see Klaude approach. He looks tired and is moving more slowly than usual, but when he sees me, his lips quirk into a smile. Lucette, what are you doing out here tonight, love? Love instead of darling? That's new. Hello, Klaude. Nice. His face is dark red again. It's almost as dark as his hair. If you're using my real name, I suppose you've come to ask for something serious? How could you know that? I don't need to ask something of you. Well, if you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm right here, love. What? Or is this not about... Never mind. I'm asking if you will be my instructor. For some reason, I seem to have caught Klaude off guard. He stares at me for a few moments. What? I want to learn how to use a sword, and I want you to be my instructor. Klaude's expression becomes uncharacteristically serious. I'd rather you didn't learn how to use a sword. I do not want you to have to keep protecting me. I don't mind protecting you. I do. Klaude sighs and shakes his head. Princesses shouldn't be using swords. I want to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. You are. I do not want you to get hurt again when I could do something about it. Teach me, please. Klaude? Nice. Anyways, once again he flushes. It seems to be an instant reaction, and it is both amusing and endearing. It won't be easy. I wasn't expecting it to be. Klaude stares at me for a long time before finally letting out a heavy sigh. Fine, I'll train you. You won't learn in a day, but I can teach you the essentials. You can use one of the nice training swords. Thank you. Music to my ears. Meet me in the clearing in 10 minutes? 10 minutes? What? You said you wanted to train, so we will. Don't expect me to go easy on you. But aren't you tired? He looked exhausted when he came in and now he wants to train. Already trying to get out of training? I am not. Klaude shakes his head, but he is smiling. I'll see you in a few minutes then, love. Moonlight spills through the leaves, illuminating the forest with its gentle light. Long minutes pass, and I stand in the clearing. I begin to feel restless. It isn't like Klaude to be late. Is he tending to his injury? I hear a rustling in the leaves and turn immediately to see what the disturbance is. But the minute I do, I am pulled back by a strong force and my world goes dark. Before I can scream, I hear a gentle voice in my ears. Lesson 1, Lucette. When apprehended by an enemy you can't see, remain calm and use your 5 senses to judge how best to get the upper hand. The voice is coming from right behind me. Wait, I want a screenshot of that. Ring. Klaude? I become aware of that this is the closest he's ever been to me, and my back pressed to his chest like this. Panicking disorients the mind, and this is why you must remain cool under any circumstance. How could I not panic? Any normal person would panic. Still, I try to force myself to be calm. Lesson 2. Enemies will often let down their guards when they think they have the upper hand. Catch your opponents off guard by remaining calm and locating this weakness with your senses. I try to calm myself as Klaude instructs. And I feel it is a bit easier, but only because I know it is Klaude. An opening. I move as quickly as I can, stepping forward so I can swing an elbow and back at Klaude's stomach. Before that happened, Klaude has pulled me back to him, closing whatever distance I had put between us. In the process, he moved his hand from my eyes to my mouth. I can once again see the forest, but my words are muffled beneath his hand. Another thing to remember, you won't always be able to catch your enemy off guard by throwing punches or hits at them. Your opponent will usually always be stronger than you, Lucette. Remember what I said about a weakness. Enemies will often let their guards down when they believe they are winning. Just like I have. An opening. A thought occurs to me that I glance around me and then down at Karma's bandaged hand. Karma's bandaged hand is over my mouth. Is this an opportunity or a trick? What will you do? What kind of tactic would remove you from my grasp? Bro, isn't your hand injured? I won't bite your hand. I will try toppling you. I know you want me to bite your hand. You know what? I'm gonna bite your hand. I'm gonna feel terrible about this, but I have to try. I try to shift my head to get enough space to bite down, but even Klaude cannot hold me completely as I squirm. Eventually, the hand over my mouth moves just enough for me to open my mouth, but I falter. I cannot bite the hand that I injured. Unable to do anything else, I mutely shake my head and I hear Klaude groan. In one swift motion, he pushes me down to the ground, pinning my hands by my head as he frowns at me. You're not even going to try and find an opening? I glare at him. I'm not going to bite your hand. Bite my hand? I didn't even think of that. But you made it obvious. You put your hand over my mouth. I'd meant for you to try moving my hand. Pushing back a person's thumb usually causes their grip to loosen. How is he supposed to know that? Experience is the best means of practice, as they say. I have a complaint about that particular lesson, but I withhold it. That was a pretty good attempt, love, but not good enough, I'm afraid. I wasn't expecting you to come at me like that. I was expecting a squad practice. You weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? Oh, my bad. Tone. You weren't expecting a man to kidnap you in the alleyway, were you? I glare up at him, unable to say anything because he is correct. You're oddly quiet. It is hard to find an opening to hurt you when you are not really my enemy. He does not move but continues to stare at me. His face is close to mine. Close enough to what exactly? Lucette, do you trust me to protect you? That is not the point. I need to be able to protect myself. Because you're planning on investigating the witches on your own? Oh, hello. No, I want to be able to protect myself because I do not want you getting hurt protecting me. Klaude leans down and I feel his hand at my cheek. For a few moments, everything slows to a stop. And all I can hear is my heartbeat and his slow breathing. Once you set your mind to something, you don't let go, do you? Klaude pulls away from me before I can respond, and he is standing again, offering me a hand. Let's get started with some small work then. The pleasant smile is back on his face. I can never tell that what he's thinking at times like these. What are you really like, Klaude? Let's go. Okay, I think I'll end my stream here. I'm kind of tired. I've been streaming for 2 hours and I am not used to speaking this much. I know my previous streams were like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Was it about 6 hours? I don't quite remember. But my throat is kind of hurting right now. So I'll end the stream now. Have a good day. Bye bye. I'll just go back to the main menu. Oh, I did save my progress, right? Okay, I did. Quit main menu? Yes. Ta-da! Okay. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Quit. Is this a screenshot that I took? Okay, wait, this is gonna take a while. Huh. Okay. I'll continue streaming later next week. Where is the end stream button? Why is it not opening? Man, I'm malfunctioning right now. Oh no. Huh, I'm kind of stuck. Okay, now it takes me. Close the program. Okay. Ta-da-da-da-da. I don't know why the game just hanged as I was closing the game. Okay, have a nice day. Bye bye. I'll see you next week. Oh, did my mic just go above? Oh, okay. Yeah. Have a nice day. I'll continue streaming Cinderella Phenomenon next week. Bye bye.